One meal a day, fast and feast, update number 2, week 4. I'm just a regular guy, eating what everyone else is eating. That led to obesity and out-of-control type 2 diabetes. Who's feeling like crap? This guy, me, until I stopped eating factory food. I completely reversed my type 2 diabetes, and I'm losing weight. Join me on Primal Inspired Keto as we explore recipes and living just a little bit primal in this modern world. Hi, welcome back to Primal Inspired Keto. I'm Mark Wheeler. It was a good week 4. I stayed on the same plan. I ended up not flipping the coin to not eat, take the chance of not eating for a day, because I worked on a lot of recipes, and no sense doing the recipes if I'm not at least going to eat dinner. So I gave myself a reprieve, and I guess that's kind of an important aspect of intermittent fasting, is not to be on the same identical schedule. So that's one of the reasons I flipped the coin, and I chose not to this week. And if you're curious about that, you can check my other video. These are the coins that I flip, and 3 days a week typically, and figure out when I'm going to eat or not going to eat, lucky or not lucky. Also, please consider subscribing, click the bell so that you can get my updates. I have some recipes that will be following this video that I'm going to be editing today. Really good recipes, really healthy food, and if you're only going to eat one meal a day, you might as well make it yummy. And getting ready to post on some recipes that I worked on this past week, one of which was one of my keto breads that I'm really fond of, that I've made quite a bit recently. And that particular one is a keto bialy, for lack of a better term. It's the kind of the shape of a bialy, and if you're familiar with bagels, growing up in New York, there's bagels and bialys. Kind of a dying art from what I understand, or dying food group, I guess, whatever. But it's more the shape of it, and it's different than a bagel. Kind of the same thing, but different. They don't boil it, and if you don't know bagels, but I'll explain that in the video. So there's the bagels, the bialys, and then I did a keto shawarma beef, beef shawarma, which worked out really good. And I've got a hack that I've been doing for my carne asada, which I also have a video for this week. And my carne asada is really, really good. And I have, like I said, a hack that I use where I take a piece of meat and turn it into the perfect meat for a shawarma recipe or a carne asada or recipes along those lines. I've done similar things with pork, but you'll have to check the video out to see. So subscribe, click the bell, check my other videos. There's also some recipes right now. It's the fall. We're working up towards the holidays, and we have the availability to fresh cranberries again. I have a cranberry sauce that I made last year that I'm going to make a jelly version of this year, and so I'll try to get a video out on that. And if you check out my previous videos, there's one from, and I'll post the link up here. Check out the videos that you'll see that there's a video that I did again last year that has my whole cranberry sauce in keto, where I put fresh blueberries in one, if I remember correctly. It's really good stuff. So, week 4 on my one meal a day. Still tons of energy. I feel great. I can't imagine ever going back to eating. Why would I want to eat more than one meal a day? Because I feel fine. As a matter of fact, I usually typically walk anywhere from 4 to 7 miles a day at work and throughout the day. I don't avoid walking. If I go to a parking lot, to go shopping or go to a store, I park pretty far away, and I'll intentionally, if there's all open parking spots, I'll still park far away because I look for opportunities to walk. And so this past Saturday, my wife and I went to a park. I guess it's a national park. It's the Tallgrass Prairie Preserve, and it's a beautiful place. And if anybody tells you that Kansas is flat as a board, they have no idea what they're talking about. Western Kansas is flat, no doubt about it. Central Kansas is very hilly, and that's why they have the Flint Hills, and there's a Flint Hill for a reason. And so this is in the Flint Hills. It's it's the prairie that our ancestors saw when they came across the country, and it's pretty impressive. Eastern Kansas has a lot of trees and things and hills as it comes along the Missouri River, and south of there. So there's there's three very distinct, more than that, but three distinct areas: the west side, the central, and the east. But again, in the central is the Flint Hills, and it was beautiful. So I saw some wild buffalo way off in the distance. Had some experiences with buffalo in South Dakota that's all I needed. From there on in, I'm fine seeing them with binoculars and saying, "Look, there's a buffalo." They were close enough when we were up in South Dakota that they were licking the side of the truck, and unfortunately, I was in the truck and they were outside, and we were safe. But it was. Oh, look at that one. It was kind of scary. I mean, they are very, very big animals. I don't trust, beef cows or dairy cows, and I'm certainly not going to trust gigantic buffalo. So that was pretty good. That they were close enough to lick my truck, and that was close. That was too close. But it's not like I went to them; they came past me, and but it was quite the thrill. So some huge animals. So we saw these guys off in the distance, and we were in the same pasture that they were in this walk. And if they decided to come over where we were, but they didn't, so that was fine. But it was a beautiful place. Did about 7 miles and all the hills and everything. Experienced some discomfort for the next couple of days from going up and on the hills at a brisk pace. And so that's leading me this week to really do a lot more exploration on whether or not I'm getting the proper nutrients that I need. I think I am low on potassium. There was just a video, very timely, that Ken Berry had out about making sure that we're getting enough potassium, and I think that's where I'm probably lacking. So I'm going to experiment with that and see how that goes. This past weekend was also my wife's birthday on Sunday, and I had a piece of ice cream cake, but 2 hours later when I checked my sugar, I was perfectly fine. It's not something I'm going to do very often, but that felt good that I can have a little piece of ice cream birthday cake and still be okay. And then this coming week it's going to be interesting too, because I'm doing some traveling. So I'm going to stay on the same plan while I'm traveling and see how all of that goes. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So I won't be around this coming weekend, and I'll try to do an update probably right after that, right before the holiday. So again, if you're interested in trying this, do your research. I think it's just terrific. I can't imagine doing anything different, and who knows what's next, but you'll find out when I do. So remember, don't eat factory food. Stay away from those machine oils. Remember, food is here to sustain life, not to kill you. And if we pay attention to it, it's a fun ride. So yeah, see you next time. Thanks.